Remakes and Remasters by VideoGameDunkey. As the Resident Evil 4 remake and Dead Space remake did come out this year, I feel it'd be very interesting to take a look at this.
Video games are such a disposable medium.
There really
you
is
can
now.
release a huge breakthrough title, and in 2 or 3 years, that game will be an antiquated, fucking busted up piece of shit.
Yeah.
But when a developer goes back and remasters a beloved game, they get a chance to make the game as good as you remember it being. Of course, some of them are just lazy attempts
I've never played Metal Gear Solid 3, so I have absolutely no context.
to exploit your nostalgia for money. Most of them, though, really do turn out to be the ultimate way to experience the game.
And even then, it could also not be the definitive way. It could be seen as a good game, but also supplemental to the source material. So, for example, the Dead Space remake, it does redo a lot, specifically after about Chapter 6. Once Mining and Beyond, it starts to change a lot more things. You know, obviously, we also have more Nicole subplots. We know who the hunter was, and the way I recommend it is you could play both. You can play both, and actually I recommend you play both. I recommend you play Dead Space 2008 and the remake. They each do different things, and they each have their strengths. I do think Dead Space remake faltered in a couple places. Trying to remember what they were specifically. I think the enemies are still a little too tanky, but I mean, playing hardcore on 2008 wasn't too far off, actually. But, you know, there are story elements that are there, story elements that aren't in there, you know, jump scares that are cheap in one that aren't cheap in the other. You know, it's, you know, kind of things that I look at, and I do view them as complementary. The Resident Evil 4 remake, I'd argue it's probably, for modern gaming, the definitive Resident Evil 4. If you are a modern gamer, if you started playing games maybe after 2010, I would argue you might have a lot more fun with Resident Evil 4 remake. However, if you're like me and who played Resident Evil 4 on the Wii, which I honestly, the lighting engine for RE4 on the Wii is actually incredibly, like, amazing for some reason. It's actually kind of neat. And it does have the tank control syndrome, though. It doesn't have as much, weapon utility, where in the remake, for example, you can have infinite ammo pretty much any weapon using the cat ears. That's not the same in RE4 original. You have like the Shago typewriter, the hand cannon, stuff like that. They each do their own things, and I can recommend them for different reasons. So it's not even necessary. It does allow a developer to go back through, and I'm sure Dunkey will go over this in this video. Majora's Mask is a game I've played into the ground. I'm probably actually going to be playing it for extended Spooktober, so keep an eye out for that on Kip TV channel. The Kids Into Kip TV channel. Majora's Mask original versus remake, I am incredibly polarized on, because I like some things about the original. I don't like some things about the original. I like things about the 3D remake. I don't like some things about the 3D remake. Things I like about the original: the fact that you can carry momentum with the Deku Scrub, that you don't have to expend magic power, MP, to go faster with Zora Link, right? Things I, like about 3D. I like that when you do the double song a time, you can go to a specific point on the clock. Obviously, you're limited by first day, second day, third day, but you can go to, say, 2 o'clock on the second day if you need an event there. Absolutely love that. I love the graphical fidelity on the 3DS remake. Things that I don't necessarily like about the remake. They redid some of the bosses, like Odalwa now has an eye on it. Georg is incredibly different. Twin Mold, oh my god, spent way too long on Twin Mold in the 3D remake. But point being, right, is it allows a developer to go back through over certain things that they may have missed, things they want to redo. Sometimes it's a good thing in the case of, say, RE4 remake. Sometimes that could be a bad thing, depending on certain things in Majora's Mask 3D. I know there was a lot to content dump at you. I'm sure Dunkey will get to. I feel that I should add, part of my expertise and experience into this.
So get your popcorn, get your licorice, get your root beer, get your fucking stromboli.
That's where the meme comes from. I've definitely said this. I've said this in stream intros. Get your stromboli. That's where this comes from.
It's gonna be a long video, baby.
Long.
Who never would say that it's one of the greatest
I've played it like
shooters
twice.
of all time. Everybody.
I've seen footage of it. It doesn't feel like it holds up to modern FPSs. I'm sure if there's gonna be people in the comments, I'm sure there's gonna be people in chat that are like, Kip, you saying shit about GoldenEye? I fucking mained Oddjob. Come on, man. Probably, right? Love you guys. As somebody that never really played it, I don't have an attachment to it, and I look at it and I'm just like, this game looks okay, and I could see having fun with friends playing multiplayer, or even, playing it. Do I think it's necessarily the greatest FPS experience? Probably not, and I'm getting crucified in Twitch chat. I assure you, comment section.
GoldenEye fucking sucks.
Oh!
This game is just buried under a fucking avalanche of technical problems.
I hear the PC port, it's not a remaster, the PC port with some mods actually made this pretty tight from my understanding.
I recommend anyone play this game on the Nintendo 64. The frame rate is dog shit. The resolution is so low that you're getting killed by guys you can't even see in the distance, and somehow you have to aim at shit with the Nintendo 64 controller.
Don't you know you just have to grow a third hand? That's how the 64 controller works. You just have to grow a third hand.
Fuck is this? This doesn't work. It just doesn't work. In its original state, this game has been objectively obliterated by the passage of time. Now, you got two options to play GoldenEye. One of them is the perfect way to experience GoldenEye, and the other one is the absolute worst way to remake a game.
I've heard about GoldenEye 007 Reloaded. I've heard about this. Isn't it like super Call of Duty? Oh man.
Let's talk about this one first. GoldenEye Reloaded. This fucking atrocity. It was marketed like a remake of GoldenEye, but it's actually...
This looks like Modern Warfare 2, but slightly to the left. No, COD 4 Modern Warfare. Not even Modern Warfare 2. This looks like COD 4 Modern Warfare, and like World at War, but slightly to the left.
Knockoff of Call of Duty.
That's a slap in the face.
That has to be probably the biggest slap in the face to GoldenEye's legacy.
Yeah.
Like... It's kind of like my thing with Halo, right? Where Halo's become progressively more Call of Duty over the years. Like, Halo did the Quake-style arena shooters. Even you play Halo Combat. I didn't beat Halo Combat off till 2019. I might have watched this a long time ago. I can't remember. Like, Halo CE is very Quake when it comes to an FPS experience, and there's nothing wrong with that. We played back in my day. I'm gonna sound like a boomer here. back in my day when I was in 2008, 2009, 2011. We were we played different games for different things, because as it turned out, that was a time period where Call of Duty was good. Battlefield was also very good. You played Call of Duty for more compact engagements. You had Rust, you had Afghan and Modern Warfare 2, right? You had so many, while some of the maps could get a lot larger, you had more compact experience, TDM experiences, or Search and Destroy. If you play Battlefield, right, we're talking Bad Company 2. I actually didn't play Battlefield 3 or 4, actually, now that I think about it. I need to go back and play those. But, Battlefield 2, which I spent a lot of time and loved the bullet drop feature in that, you were going for more large style engagements. You were going for some environmental destruction potentially as well. And they each did their own things. Where Halo, you played Halo because you are, for all intents and purposes, a super soldier, and things don't feel as weighty because, you have a several 100-pound Mjolnir suit equipped, right? Yeah, so kick from 7.62 in a few 100-pound suit isn't going to feel nearly as bad if you don't have a suit on, right? So each of these did their different things, and it seems like things as time has gone on have more homogenized into this is the way that FPSs currently work, but at the cost of identities, right? I would argue Halo 5 is much different than Halo 3. I think Halo 5 is still a pretty good multiplayer experience from what little I played of it. I think Halo Infinite has its own charm. I do think it was a little bit of a step backwards from 5 personally in multiplayer, but it's if it's a similar experience, why are you just not playing COD if you're invested in COD? Why are you not playing, I actually don't know who plays Battlefield at this point, right? Or play BattleBit, right? It feels like as time has gone on, things have gotten more homogenized, and this might be an example of taking the safe approach to a remake. But at that point, if you're doing something similar, what makes you stand out? If I made a card game and it was too similar to Magic the Gathering, right? Say I was using a land system, what separates me from one of the largest games on the planet, right? What does this do different if this is a close Call of Duty clone, quote unquote, than Call of Duty, right? That's the issue that arises here.
Possible. But there is another option. Through an emulator, you can play GoldenEye at 60 FPS in an HD resolution.
I've actually heard about this on other videos. I've heard people review GoldenEye on PC.
And it's nice But the controller still doesn't feel right for this game until, now don't tell anybody I told you about this, but if you go on Google,
My God.
you can find a fan-made program that allows you to play GoldenEye with a mouse and keyboard.
My God.
And holy shit. GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Time Splitters, none of these games were ever meant to be played with a controller. It handles so effortlessly with the mouse and keyboard that it's like you're playing GoldenEye for the first time.
That's wild.
All over. And it's still a damn good game, especially the first half. You can karate chop people. You can shoot them with a silenced pistol. You can shoot them with a silenced karate chop. There's a mission where you have to acquire a copy of GoldenEye on VHS.
That's kind of cool.
It's stunning how just a little change, like switching your controller, can have such a huge impact on the playability of a game. And
So on the playability of games, actually, so obviously I've played through a bunch of Resident Evil 4 Remake. I actually started playing mouse and keyboard, and I couldn't quite get into it. And I actually had an aversion for playing the Resident Evil 4 Remake for the longest time because I tried to play controller, and like it was like the look acceleration and aim assist, like sticking on the target, was always messing with me. Until I looked up some guides on YouTube and actually swapped my control settings a little bit, and, I think I lessened the acceleration. I made target sticking turn off, and it's night and day. Like, I'm able to actually hit perfect parries now. I'm able to actually play the game in a not competent, in a not incompetent way, barring me hitting my shots, of course. But it's one of those things that sometimes it does take playing the game with a different peripheral to really bring out the best in a game. And obviously, that being said, this is going to bring up the argument of, well, is controller or mouse and keyboard better? There's not really a definitive answer. There are people that can play FPSs on controllers that would smoke people that I know. Like, and I know a couple people who were like, I think they were top 100 in Titanfall 2 on Xbox One. I think I'd have to double check their placing, right? But there are people that can play on mouse and keyboard that could smoke a bunch of your average controller users. And those average controller users might match very well with your average mouse and keyboard user, but you can have that upper echelon of controller players that can absolutely smoke mouse and keyboard players. It really depends. I'm not, really saying controller is the best. I'm not really saying mouse and keyboard is the best. I'm a fan of, honestly, whatever you feel is best for you, and really, you shouldn't really get into being one camp or the other, because at the end of the day, if you enjoy something, who's going to tell you no? Like, who really has a valid point to tell you no?
That's what a good remaster should attempt to do. Fix all those stupid little nagging issues that older games have, because usually it's just dumb little stuff that the developers overlooked. Ocarina of Time, what is this aiming? Seriously, what the fuck is
I can't stand Zelda. So I love Ocarina of Time. I love Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask, one of my top 3 favorite games ever, right? Like, God, the aiming is awful on a 64, though. I'm going to go back through my Legendary Collection. I'm looking over my GameCube. I have to go back through my Legendary Collection soon. I'm going to see if the GameCube fixed it a little bit. But, God, the 3D and that gyro is just too good. I'm assuming he's going to talk about the gyro.
Hello, Nintendo? What the fuck is this aiming?
The aiming? I would not know, sir.
It's got to be a bit, right? Or did he actually call Nintendo? That's got to be a bit, right?
Fucking sucks. It is ass. Now go play Ocarina of Time on the 3DS with the gyro.
It's too good.
It's beautiful. It's a masterpiece. One of my dream remasters would be Donkey Kong 64, one of the most challenging 3D platformers ever. With over
I've actually never gone through Donkey Kong 64. Like, I've played it in the past in passing at cousins' houses. Never actually played DK64 now that I think about it. That might actually make a good series, make a good episodic stream. Huh. I might do that. But yeah, no, I as far as I'm aware, there's something holding up. It might be Rare and Rare's acquisition by Microsoft. So it might be in just development hell. Or not development hell. It just might be in like IP limbo or something like that. I'm assuming it might be due to Rare being involved with it, right?
13.9 trillion bananas to collect, but some sick fuck degenerate decided to color code each and every banana.
Yeah, I've heard this is a valid criticism.
Character. That's where you take it too far. You see those red bananas? Donkey Kong can't get those. Sorry, fucker.
Go Diddy.
You have to walk back to the barrel, switch to Diddy Kong, walk all the way back, grab the banana. Oh, what's that? A blue banana? Oh, you fucking.
Where's our boy? Was it Lanky? I almost said Lunky. Is it Lanky Kong? Where's my boy?
Idiot. Well, walk all the way back. This game is made by monkeys. A lot of issues this game has could be fixed simply by letting the player switch Kongs with the D-pad. Like you hit right, bam, Diddy Kong, bam, Chombo Kong. We'll never see this game remastered because the license is all split up, but
yeah,
it would be awesome.
It's a licensing
Most
thing, I'd
remasters
argue.
just make the game prettier, make the frame rate smoother. It's lazy, but sometimes the jump to
But that's a remaster, I would argue. If, like, Halo CE, right, doesn't necessarily play that different than original Halo CE. Halo CE and MCC doesn't necessarily play that much different than Halo CE re-release on Xbox 360 than OG CE on the Xbox, right? You know, Kingdom Hearts remakes, quote unquote, you know, the 1.5, 2.5. As far as I'm aware, they look prettier, have a higher frame rate. I think they add a couple features. In the case of what's the one with Terra? Birth by Sleep, that actually saw a feature removed. It was whatever the minigame section was on the PSP. You know, you could have like multiplayer races and stuff. From my understanding, they removed that in 2.5 in the Birth by Sleep remake. But that's more of a remaster if you're not really adding anything of substance. Dead Space, Resident Evil 4 even. I would argue Resident Evil 4 Remake at this point in time is the gold standard for what a remake should aim to do. It should be to preserve the source material in such a way and, you know, maybe even improve the gameplay, improve mechanics, extrapolate on certain mechanics and lore bits, but also have enough of an identity in itself and be able to differentiate itself from the original to get across a similar narrative. Like, as of Separate Ways, we know that Krauser was involved with Wesker still. That still holds true from the OG. It was just done in a little bit of a different way that made the game far more interesting, gave more humanity and personalization to Krauser.
Can have a huge impact. Take Wind Waker. Pretty good looking game still.
It looks like mud on the original, yeah.
Oh shit! Then
The lighting engine for Wind Waker HD is amazing. I gotta go back through Wind Waker.
Other times where it's here I am playing Hitman 2 for the PS2, and I think it went to HD. Skyrim remastered. This game has huge.
This is actually really controversial in regards to the Skyrim Special Edition because wasn't it for the Creation Club paid mini DLC, but then they gave us just an update for all that because they wanted to wash their hands of it potentially. I don't know the story on why they got rid of the Creation Club. I thought that was going to be their platform going forward, albeit unpopular as far as I'm aware. Especially because they keep updating Special Edition, so the modders are having a rough time right now.
Huge game
Which remaster,
bugs,
right?
But instead of fixing that, they made the water look better.
I'm still upset at Todd Howard for not giving. So you know how you have like those like LG like fridges and stuff that have like touchscreens and stuff, or even like toasters that have like built-in touchscreens and stuff. Todd, where is my Skyrim Toaster Edition? I want my Skyrim Special Edition to be able to play on my toaster, right? Or like maybe have like or like fridge, right? Where's my LG touchscreen fridge Skyrim Edition? Don't you hold out on me, Todd. I know you have the capacity to do it.
And they fucked up the sound quality? Aren't there mods that make the graphics better?
This is Heather speaking.
Skyrim remastered? Come on, Nintendo. What do you think you're pulling here?
Donkey, what are you doing calling here?
Oh, shit. Sometimes the latest version of a game is not the best version.
So I have a love-hate relationship with the Wii version. The Wii control actually... This is going to sound super, like, this adjacent to the Wii conversation. Modern Warfare 1 COD 4 came to the Wii. I had a Wii at the time. I didn't have any PS3, Xbox. I didn't have any system that could run Modern Warfare 2 at the time. So I played Modern Warfare, COD 4, Modern Warfare 1 on the Wii. I was a monster with that Wii and nunchuck. It was actually nutty. But I mean, obviously that's, barrier to entry for motion controls in an FPS online game, right? Totally get it. But like, oh God, I think the Wii was an interesting way to experience it. If anything, because the lighting engine alone. I did not have the Wii gun accessory. No, I used standard Wiimote and nunchuck for Modern Warfare. Well, I almost said 2. Modern Warfare 1. I was a monster with it.
Such as the fuck you idiot, give us all your money collection. fans are still upset about how Silent Hill 2 looks on that collection. And when you're overhauling visuals, you want to make noticeable improvements without trampling over the original game's art direction. Take Conquer Live and Reloaded. This game looks
boy, Conquer Live and Reloaded. I'm not unknown to the analysis, well, I guess I should say analyses and criticisms on Conquer's Bad Fur Day versus Live and Reloaded. Oh God, it's such a different game, and they censor a lot of stuff too.
It's great in its own right, but ask anyone, they still prefer the N64 version.
Yeah,
it doesn't have any of that fancy.
So this is kind of the Wind Waker effect, because Wind Waker is timeless because its art style makes it timeless, whereas something like Twilight Princess, especially on the GameCube and Wii, felt a little dated after a while because they tried to go for, you know, a more realistic approach to it in certain aspects. Where Conquer, like, you could boot it up right now, right? I actually need to see if I can find a copy of Conquer's Bad Fur Day. I don't think I have one. I could boot this up right now, and it's thematic, it's vibrant, it's done in a way that is timeless. And the fact that it could hold up in 2023 still is kind of insane. Whereas something like Live and Reloaded, like we're going to see, because I've seen the clips, I've seen what it looks like. That looks dated.
Fur effects, but it's
version I
much
got
more
first, and that's also valid.
appropriate.
If you
It's
like
more
Live and Reloaded, go
animated,
for it.
It's a lot more colorful and reminiscent of Banjo-Kazooie, and that's the whole point. A parent might walk in and see Conquer, you know, walking around getting honey and think, oh, this is a nice game like Banjo. This is a nice game to get for my kid. And then he gets drunk and starts pissing on some guy's wall. The best remasters take that further step and rectify gameplay issues. Donkey Kong Returns on the Wii.
I've never played, like, any besides 64. A couple times I've never actually played a Donkey Kong game.
You have to keep shaking the dumbass controller every time you want to roll. It is the dumbest fucking idea. Play it on the 3DS. Oh, hey, I can play this game like an actual human being now. Pikmin, on the other hand, plays so good on the Wiimote that you can never go back to a normal controller. I didn't even know about this, but they actually brought Pikmin 1 and 2 to the Wii.
I forgot about these. I think I missed getting them on the Wii U eShop, so I have to go track down physical copies of these now.
Just so you can play with the Wiimote. Uncharted 2, go back and play the original PS3 version. It is so underwhelming because the cover system fucking sucks dick. Every time you come out of cover, you're aiming at nothing. So you just get shot, then you get to do it again. On harder difficulties, this game is unplayable. Pop into PS4 version, oh my god.
That looks great.
Has completely reworked the shooting and cover mechanics, unlocking a gold mine of buried potential. Crank the difficulty of the crushing, and you will experience one of the best single-player shooters ever made. Every level, every shootout.
Never played Uncharted. I've been debating on it. I don't have a PlayStation though.
Well, guys,
this is a
it's
lot.
looking like that time again. I just want to close this video out
with a request. No, underrated game. I played the multiplayer once, and I want to go back and play this. I need to find a physical copy when I can. This is such a, as far as everyone I've heard, and especially my mod team, has said, Kip, you need to find a copy and play this. This is so on brand for me, apparently. I need to play this.
Let me play Mario with real analog controls. Don't screw up that Final Fantasy VII remake. And bring Red Dead Redemption to PC.
Oh!
But most importantly,
didn't they mess that up though?
NAC HD. Okay, Nintendo?
NAC HD?
NAC HD.
What?
Sir?
This is a Wendy's?
This is Walgreens.
Like, there's no way these are real calls, right? Like, this has got to be just with people he knows. It's so funny. Oh my god. Sir, this is a Walgreens. They patched Red Dead to 60 FPS now. Oh, at least they kind of fixed it. Billy Hatcher is egg rolling game where you hatch a thing and then you use said monster. It's actually, and that's just a basic, what I understand of it. It could be a lot different than that. That was absolutely amazing. I absolutely loved that. It was, the omission of Majora's Mask and Majora's Mask 3D was kind of strange to me, actually. I'm not too sure why, but it could, I don't know, maybe it was in the era where it hadn't quite come out yet. It was 6 years ago. No, it was 2017. It was out at that point, I thought. I digress, though. This was an awesome video. I thought it brought a lot to the table. Hopefully you found my commentary some sort of insightful, all that fun stuff. Let me know in the comment section. Would you like to see Kip play DK64? like to suffer through the collectathon. What's your thoughts on remakes versus remasters? Do you think that remasters are the preferred way to go versus a remake? Well, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.